Imagine being able to walk away from anyone or anything without feeling like you lost something. Instead of overthinking it for hours or feeling sick to your stomach, you actually just move on with your day like nothing even happened. You're not pretending. You genuinely just couldn't care less. That's what mastering emotional detachment gives you. It's not about being cold or heartless. It's about being so secure in yourself that nothing and no one can shake your peace. But here's where it gets even better. Detachment doesn't just make you feel stronger on the inside. It literally changes the way people see you. If you want proof, just think about Cleopatra, a literal queen of empires. She had the most powerful rulers in the world wrapped around her finger. Men literally started wars over her. And it wasn't because she was the most beautiful woman alive. It was because she mastered one of the most attractive forces on earth, emotional detachment. Girls who have the same kind of energy as Cleopatra did are the ones people watch, stalk, crave, and can't stop thinking about. So stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to master emotional detachment, even if you're the girl who always cares too much. Fair warning though, after this, don't be surprised if your phone starts overheating from all the "I miss you" texts. Let's begin. To fully master emotional detachment, we're going to break it down into 3 simple steps, and the first step is getting tired of your own delusions. Most women fear detachment because they confuse it with loneliness. They think if they stop chasing, they'll end up alone. But here's the truth bomb that changes everything. The more you chase, the more alone you actually become. Because when you're constantly pursuing people who don't value you, you're surrounded by relationships that drain you instead of fulfill you. I know how it feels when you really like someone, and every fiber of your being wants to text them, call them, and make plans with them. I'm gonna expose myself a little, but one time I was so obsessed with a guy, I deleted all my Spotify playlists and replaced them with music he liked. Like, full-on wiped my favorite songs just so, if he ever looked, he'd be like, "Oh my god, we have the same music taste." And now, all the rare songs I used to love are gone, just so I could pretend I liked the most overplayed rap playlist on earth. Looking back, I basically deleted my personality and downloaded his, just so maybe he'd like me more. Spoiler, he didn't. All it did was make me feel small, fake, and low-key cringe every time I heard his playlist after. That's when I learned the real lesson. The more you shrink and change yourself to be liked, the less you'll actually be liked, and the more miserable and alone you'll end up feeling. You're abandoning yourself just to feel chosen, but the truth is, you'll never feel chosen until you choose yourself first. Keep this in mind, because in a minute, I'm gonna show you how Cleopatra turned this exact mindset into power that had men starting wars over her. But first, let's move on to the second step, which is understanding why you even get attached to people in the first place. There's a famous psychological study called the investment model of commitment, created by a woman named Carol Rusbolt. And one of the biggest things she found is this: the more you invest in someone, the harder it is to let go. In simple terms, when you've given someone your time, your love, your energy, your Spotify playlists, your brain's like, wait, after all that, we're just supposed to leave? This is called sunk cost mindset. Basically, it's when your brain confuses time spent with something being worth it. Here's the perfect example. Imagine you decide to watch a 3-hour movie. You're 2 hours in, and it's literally the worst thing you've ever seen, like painfully bad. But because you've already sat through 2 hours, you're like, whatever, I might as well finish it. Maybe it gets better. In fact, the ending is even worse. This is exactly what happens in toxic relationships. Even if he's making you feel like trash, you hold on. Not because he's good for you, but because you've already given so much and it hurts to think it was all for nothing. But listen to me, the only thing worse than wasting your time is wasting even more of it. Do yourself a favor, turn the damn movie off when you know it's trash. You don't owe it 3 hours just because you already gave it 2, and you definitely don't owe a man forever just because you gave him your heart for a little while. Now, let's move on to the third and final step, which is, be the diamond in the vault. We humans are literally wired to want what we can't have. It's not just a preference, it's how our brains are designed. When something is easily available to us, our brain categorizes it as low value. When something is scarce or difficult to obtain, our brain marks it as high value, and we become obsessed with getting it. This is evolutionary psychology that has kept humans alive for millions of years. The rare resources were the valuable ones. The difficult-to-catch prey was worth the most energy to pursue. Listen carefully now, because this is important. Your availability directly impacts how people perceive your value. Let me paint you a picture. Imagine there are 2 identical diamonds. One is sitting on the counter at a gas station for $5. The other is locked in a vault, heavily guarded, and costs $50,000. Which one do you immediately assume is more valuable? Obviously the one that's protected, scarce, and difficult to obtain. Your energy works the same way. When you're constantly available, constantly texting back immediately, constantly saying yes to last-minute plans, you become the $5 gas station diamond. But when you have boundaries, when your time is valuable, when people have to earn access to you, you become the diamond in the vault. That's exactly what Cleopatra did. When Mark Antony, one of the most powerful men in Rome, asked Cleopatra to come meet him, she didn't rush over. She didn't act flattered. She made him wait. And when she finally did show up, she didn't walk in like, "Hi, thanks for inviting me." She arrived on a gold-covered boat, wearing a goddess outfit, while music played and perfume filled the air. Why? Because she understood something most people don't. When you make yourself rare, you become valuable. Cleopatra gave off the energy that she was totally fine with or without him. She wasn't desperate, and she didn't act like she needed to prove anything. She knew exactly what she wanted, and because she refused to settle for anything less, she got it. In short, when you treat yourself like a woman of value, the world has no choice but to respond accordingly. So here's what I want you to remember. A woman who is okay with being alone is a powerful woman. Just let them lose you, and they'll finally understand what they took for granted. This was the Desire Diaries. Thank you so much for watching. If you want me to make more videos about confidence, detachment, or anything mindset related, drop your ideas in the comments below. I'd love to hear what you want to see next. Until then, stay confident, smart, and glowing.